All right, we're back and we're recording. Josh Warren here again. Lesson 2, Chapter 2 from our EMT B 101 class. Want to go ahead and tell you that I looked back over our first meeting here and that first Chapter 1 thing, and it was I enjoyed it. I think there's some good usable content. I'm going to try and reel myself in, not go on so many rants, but I do want to answer any questions you guys got, or any ways I can help. I want to do that for you. So sliding over to Chapter 2 of your book, we've got workforce safety and wellness. I can tell you now that I'm not going to go word for word through this PowerPoint. We'll knock out some highlights and make that a thing, because this one right here is not rocket science, fellas and girls. So what we want to talk about is how to decontaminate equipment and infectious disease. Do you think as an EMT or a paramedic, you're going to be around people that have possible diseases? The answer is yes. You will go and be around people that have infectious diseases. You need to learn how to decontaminate equipment after treating a patient, and how to manage and then decontaminate your ambulance after treating a patient, how to put on gloves and masks and full-blown HEPA suit and SCBA if necessary. So these are requirements of being an EMT, but also everybody should be quite familiar with masks and things like that. However, let me bring something to your attention. Is this going to stop anything? The answer is no. What about my old t-shirt from college? No, it is a permeable fabric, which means what? That stuff can go through. So the only true way to have a mask that will stop things from getting to you is to have a fitted N95 mask that will filter these particulates away from you. The shirt you're wearing that you made into a mask, not a thing. Not to say that it's completely useless, but if you want to stop you from getting something, N95 is the way to go. They'll do actually a fitting where they'll put you on this big hood, put the mask on you and spray things. If you can smell them, the mask is not fitted well. Adjust, 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 mold, 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 spray, spray, spray. Nothing. I smell nothing. The mask is working. You have to be fitted for a real mask for it to work. So in our first lab, one of the first things we'll do is learn how to put on gloves. Some of you may be great at that already, but I will have to see you do it. We will learn how to actually put on a mask. We may actually fit you for masks. We will show you how to put on shields and the actual birthing stuff. If you've ever birthed a baby, God, it's nasty. I have brought 5 of them things in this world in the pre-hospital setting. They always poop on my stretcher. It's gross. So we'll show you how to put all that stuff on, the booties and the gown, all that other mess. So also, we want to talk about you. I want you to have a long and healthy career. I do. I want you to learn how to do standard safety precaution things, apply personal protective equipment, how to deal with your own stress. Smoke weed. I'm gonna start doing it. As soon as they legalize it, I'm doing it. I never tried it and I want to. Down. It's gonna happen. You can do it with me. I don't care who's buying. I'm kidding, but mainly I do think you got to have some stress management methodologies out there, and you got to be able to recognize your stress growing and when it's time to take some time off. You think this is a hard job, dealing with death and dying and sick people all the time? You're essentially a grief mop. You will be involved and around this kind of material and stuff, and it will affect you. But I'm strong. What about this? Even the biggest and baddest will be affected by it. Even the greatest among us will have these issues creep up over time. What about prevention of response related injuries? Can you get hurt during this job? Well, I don't know. You carry a 400-pound person down a flight of stairs on a 15-pound board, and you tell me that. I told you, your days of on the couch eating bonbons are over. Time to hit the gym. Getting that swole life. Oh, yeah. Gains. You ain't got to look like Adonis, but you better be able to hold your own. You need to be able to help me wrestle this psych patient down or lift this patient and come down these flight of stairs. You're spoiled in a lot of these bigger cities because you've got a whole full-fledged fire department that can be there in a few minutes. However, let's say you go pick up a job down there in, we'll call it BFE or the hick town or, whatever, some redneck area of the world. Do you think you're going to have a lot of resources coming to you? Probably hell no. If there's any kind of like paid department, there's probably like one truck and they might be over there fighting their little garden fire they started so they could look busy and justify themselves. But you may not always have these type of resources. So you've got to be able to hold your own. Doesn't mean we can't get some to you, but it might take some time. So being smart about it is another great idea. Oh, Pickens County. I forgot about you being in the chat box. Dang old man. Ding, 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 ding. Pickens County, Georgia. Most of Georgia's hick anyway. I pick on Pickens County because it's easy, but most of them are pretty hick. What about prevention of work-related injuries? I've gotten hurt at work. I had to be He-Man. Just because you can don't mean you should. I have weightlifted since I was 15. Okay, over the last year or two, I've lost a step. I'm not the big, beautiful bod I used to have. But that's also because I've gotten hurt a lot. Having to be He-Man. Let's take the 450-pound patient, me, and my 110-pound partner who couldn't lift their way out of a wet paper towel. And we got this patient going into let's call it a congestive heart failure exacerbation with impending cardiogenic shock and respiratory arrest. So lots going on. About to be a big day for me to use my medic skills, right? So do I leave them A, on the floor in the bathroom while they're laying flat, increasing their difficulty breathing? Or B, do I pull them out of the bathroom by my darn self because my partner's as useful as a screen door in a submarine? I chose to do something. So I got a couple work-related injuries. There's a cute scar right here from a burning car. Had a kid in it. Mom's dead in the front seat. What you gonna do, brother? Scene ain't safe. I wasn't supposed to go in there, but emotionally charged, I did. So I'm gonna try and tell you how to not become me and be hurt. I'm 32 years old and I have no disc at L4 because of Superman moves. I want you to be smarter, bigger, faster, stronger, and make better choices. But anyway, teaching you how to lift and move patients, how to mitigate disease transmissions, and how about some wellness and resilience training? They didn't do this when I was in school. They were like, hey, be strong and tough. We're gonna get out there and run in patient calls now. We need you. So that was a problem for us back in the day. So to take care of others, we must take care of ourselves. Well, duh. If you don't do what's good for you, you won't be able to be good for others. So that means I have to take my fishing trips. I have to take my PTO time and go to the beach and drink margaritas. I have to take care of me. You're asked to pour into others all the time. But if you only pour, and you don't pour back into yourself, you are only pouring from an empty cup. You're asked to give yourself, your time, your strengths, your knowledge, your skills. You must make time to pour back into yourself, to recharge the batteries, as it were. So if you're recharging the batteries, you'll be able to continue to give to people. You got to recognize some hazards. Personal neglect. Guilty. I'm guilty. I've made that mistake. I've done that. I've neglected myself. I've overworked. I've done many a stupid thing. What environmental and human-made threats? The cold is really cold. The hot is very hot. There are hazards out there of being out in the hot sun and sweating your butt off and not stopping and getting hydration, especially in this swamp booty weather we got here in Atlanta. It will be hot, hot, and you will need to be taking care of yourself. What about human-made threats? What does that mean? John, tell me about it.
I mean, there's all sorts of human-made threats. If you go into a druggie's house, you might step on a needle. You might have somebody try and shoot you. Like there's, whatever you could think of, it exists.
That's true. I could step on a needle. I could get shot at. I could fall down this damn hole that somebody left in the middle of their yard in the middle of the night and I didn't see it. Ask me how I know. So, how'd you twist your ankle? Fell in a hole in some dude's yard because he didn't put a sign up or whatever. But here I am. What about the mental and physical stress? Is it normal to deal with the mental stress of dead and dying kids, or perhaps a firefighter from the department you work with all the time has been hit by a car and now his leg's missing? Is that normal to deal with? You think that could cause you a few issues? What about the physical stress? Some of you have took the CPR class with me, and I made you pump the chest for 2 minutes. 2 minutes feels like 20 minutes. You have to be able to deal with the physical stress of having to be physical. This is a physical job. I know. It's glorified blue collar work. It's hero work. Okay, it is, but it's still a lot of lifting, moving, grinding, sweating. And I've loved it. I was not made for a desk. So you need to be able to handle that too. So your health is complex. You have to take care of your physical, emotional well-being. Chronic health problems can grow and make things worse for you. How would I take care of my physical well-being? I work out. Is it always lifting weights, protein shakes, getting dates? Is it curls getting you girls? Or can I go for a dang walk? Huh? Can I go for a run? Can I do, oh God, I don't want to say it. Hot yoga. Can I do hot yoga? And is it still physical exercise? I tried, now I'm gonna admit something to you. I tried yoga. I about died. It was very strenuous because I'm not bendy at all. So there's a lot there. A lot. It could be a lot of physical there. All right. What about swimming? Yeah, that'll take the weight off of you quick. How do I take care of my mental stresses? Well, I talk about it. I don't hide behind my feelings. I don't go crawl into a bottle. I don't go and womanize. It's what we've done in the past in EMS and fire and police. Chief so-and-so's on his fourth wife. He comes up to me. Hey, Josh, you seen that new EMT we hired? Damn. That's probably why you were on your fourth wife, Chief. Probably. I ain't got no pension left anyway. I'm gonna work till I die. Okay, that's a great attitude, Chief. Anyway, about this report I was telling you about. So taking care of that kind of thing too would be important. About emotional connections. I need to connect with my wife. My children, they are therapeutic to me. I need to be able to go home and not take work home with me. I need to come to work and not bring work home to work with me. I, as your partner, do not want to hear you FaceTiming your lover and sitting there and I have to hear the crap. Get out of the truck. Don't bring work home. Don't bring home to work. You are at work. I need your full attention. I don't need you distracted by you and your girlfriends while we're on shift together. It will decrease your effectiveness as a EMS provider. I know a lot of us have worked with that partner already. It is okay to tell somebody to, hey, perhaps maybe when we stop, you get out and go talk to them and then come back and be in here with me with this patient. There is no phone calls while we're on scene with our patients. Unless it is you calling the medical director asking for help. We have to be professional and be all in, all at work. Not all stresses are negative though. Eustress is good stress. Oh, there is a good stress. That kind of stress gets you up out of bed so you can go to work in the morning. or do your assignments on time by midnight on Sundays. Distress causes a negative stress. Your distress will cause a negative stress. What are some distresses that we go through? Zarina, tell me about it. Or you could ignore me, either way. My mic don't work. Sure it don't.
I was elbow deep in poo-poo. What?
Elbow
Sorry.
deep in poo-poo is a good excuse. Acceptable. So, are you able to answer this question?
Run the question by me again, Josh.
Not a problem. We're talking about eustress being the good stress. Now I'm asking about distress, negative stress response. What are some negative stressors that you can think of that would affect you in your work life? You've been on the truck a little bit now. You've kind of figured some things out. What you got going on?
Negative stressors. You could get some negative things happening at home that
And
you're
take them
bringing.
to work with you?
Yes.
Is that a good idea?
No.
Is it a good idea to take your work stressors home with you?
No.
But why? I want to. I should go home in a bad mood and yell at my wife. How dare she have that dinner cooked? How dare the house be clean and the girls be happy? Let me come home and be the butthole because I was in a bad mood because I just saw a kid die or a homeless guy get ran over. You know how I know? I've been that butthole. I don't want you to be me. My wife is a wonderful person. Sometimes I'd come home in a bit moody and I would not know why. Why am I in such a mood? I'm so blessed to have what I have. I go home, my daughters, my 4-year-old and 1-year-old literally run into my arms. They can't wait to see me. I took the stress home and I've learned to do what's called the door sigh. Before I walk through that door, I let it all go. And I'm no longer a paramedic. It does not exist in the world of the home life. I'm just dad and husband. It caused me and my wife a few issues. Nothing bad or anything, nothing like, that would cause us, a big idea, but I don't, she don't deserve for me to come home in a bad mood and bring work home with me. It's not her fault that I am in this profession. It's not her fault I had to see what I had to see and do what I had to do. So I don't take work home. I don't take home to work. I'm a professional. My uniform is pressed and cleaned. My hair is cut. My beard is trimmed. My teeth are brushed. I got on some dang deodorant. Wear deodorant, everybody. Class rule. And I make sure that I'm operating as a professional and that if somebody asks about me, oh yeah, he's a professional. He does what he's supposed to do. So on this side of the house, I represent whatever company I'm working for that day. On this side of the house, I have my name, the name of my clan. My family raised me to be a professional. I would not let my mother and father down by letting my name be synonymous with poor care or unprofessionalism. Being well, taking care of yourself, that means you got to be in good health. That is a moving target because life's about balance. Everything in moderation, even moderation. I've tried every diet under the sun. And there's been times where I've been supremely fit. I've been really bulky and muscly. And then there's been times where I've just been kind of fat. But while I worked in the full-time capacity as a paramedic on the truck, I tried really hard to keep up with my training regimen, my eating. I didn't eat for cravings. I ate as fuel so I can be strong and perform at optimal levels. My patients deserve that. My partner deserves that. Why? Because my liabilities are their liabilities on the fire ground and on the EMS medical ground. Your liabilities are mine as well. Don't make me get hurt because you have not taken care of yourself. I've worked with people that are a Twinkie away from a heart attack. Literally, one of the first partners I worked with, and I was a paramedic, it was a double medic truck. We wasn't partners long because, they can't really afford to put 2 medics together all the time. Anyway, This guy had been doing this job for 28 years. He was a burned out old cuss and miserable person. He had some poor health and he was a hypocrite. He was about 5'8", 5'9", unkempt, dirty uniform, smelled like, I don't know, smelled like a butthole. And man, he just, he had a terrible disposition and he had high blood pressure. He didn't take his medicine. He was about 350 pounds too, at like 5'8". And he was just not pleasant to work with. His liabilities became mine when he couldn't help me lift a patient because he was not physically fit enough. And at the time, you know, I was like 22 years old. And I was 20 years old. I was a brand new paramedic, and I was able to handle it then. You know, I was strong enough. Oh, I got it. Woo, I had it. But now at 32 years old, that would be much more difficult and painful for a couple of days to do. I need you to carry your load. So resilience is the capacity of an individual to cope with and recover from distress. Can you be resilient to the things you see? For you to treat these patients and see the things you see and deal with the things you deal with, you have to be resilient, able to cope with and recover from. It is a traumatic insult to your mental psyche to see some of the things you see. It's okay to be hurt by it. It's okay to cry about it. It's not okay to bottle it up. It's not okay to not talk about it, but it is okay to not be okay. State of Georgia, we lost quite a number of providers this last year to suicide. You were my students and I love you and I don't want to lose any of you to that. So moving forward, if you ever need to talk, I'm here for you. My advice is also to find you a battle buddy, somebody that you can be yourself with and be accountable to. You ever have problems, you can always talk about it. And there is better options than a permanent solution to temporary emotions. Things can get better. But to do this job, you have to be resilient. It's okay to be damaged by what you see, but you must recover from it to not develop distress. Build relationships with your peers and colleagues. I have truly wined and dined with kings and queens. I've worked with some of the best in the business. These people became like family to me. These people called me and checked on me. They brought me gifts when my children were born. I went to some of their weddings and anniversaries and gave them gifts. They needed help moving. I was there. The first time a gun was pulled on me in the city of Atlanta, there were 3 ambulances there before a PD unit could turn a tire. I have built friends in this business. And they are truly kings and queens. Fantastic individuals that would literally give you the shirt off their back. These people are important to you and your psyche and your mental health. Because once you get in this field, you realize that I can't go home and talk to my wife about all this. She won't understand. She won't get it. She does not have a clue what it's like to be in my shoes. So I have to build relationships and people to hold me accountable, to check on me. I need to check on them. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. It's my job to watch out for you. Just like it's my job as a father when I'm out with my wife and children. You know, I got that thing on me. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready for any kind of whatever. But also, as I'm watching my children, I'm watching yours too. If I see your son about to run to the street, I will run and go grab him before he can make the leap into the street and deal with traffic. That's what I think a decent human being does. We have to step up and do that for each other. Before my brother or sister goes down a hard path, I will reach out. I will annoy them if I have to keep them from harm. So incorporating daily stretching, movement, exercise. I'm all for the exercise. One of my Achilles heels was the stretching. I can barely touch my toes. But flexibility keeps you from getting hurt. Flexibility keeps you from getting hurt. Building habits of mindfulness and positivity. What does that mean? Stephanie, tell me about it.
Can you repeat that? My kiddo was talking to me.
Fair enough. What does it mean to build habits of mindfulness and positivity? Why does that make a plug nickel to me? What you think? There's no wrong answer. I just kind of want to know what you're thinking.
Sorry,
Who
hang
made
on.
you mad? Who made you mad, babe? Mama did, didn't she? I'll come back to you, okay? Who else we got in the chat? I'm gonna move my little screen here. Let's see. Jono, talk to me. Beardy Locks, help us out. Mindfulness, positivity. Why does that matter?
Because if you let the stuff that you see in this field get to you, then you're gonna get into that negative spiral, and it's gonna be real hard to get out of if you get deep down in there. So if you work through that in a healthy manner, whether that's just talking about it with your partner, or if you need to go to therapy, whatever you need to do, that's fine. Just trying to keep things positive, focusing on the other aspects of your life that aren't so dark, because that's just how some of the things you're going to see in this field are going to be really, really dark. And so it's important to have a positive mindset outside of those things, because you're not going to change that. Like, you've chosen this field, like those are going to be negatives. And so, you have to have some positives to outweigh those in your life outside of work, whether that's your family or your hobbies or whatever you like to do, that makes up for it. That's important to keep your mental status strong.
I can dig it. Very good, John. Thank you for your input. And he's absolutely right. I will add and say that your focus decides your feelings. What you focus on will decide what feelings you have. I know this because I have never had to sedate a patient with an anxiety attack. It's part of the protocol. And I've ran many of a Georgia Tech student and a Georgia State student around exam time. Oh my God, freak out, freak out. But if I can change their focus and ground them by changing that focus, I can then bring them out of that anxiety attack enough to where it's not a danger to them. You steer where you stare. You steer where you stare. You ever been driving down the road and the car is oncoming and your eyes are watching their headlights instead of the road? What happens? You in the back. You, tell me about it. What happens? You tend to go that direction and you have to be like, oh God. You steer where you stare. Your focus will decide your feelings. So surrounding yourself with positive individuals that get it and going out and relaxing and having a good time, it's more important now than ever. I refuse to lose any of you to the stressors of the EMS world. Towards the end of our program here, we're going to watch a video. It's a really good movie, I think. And it's also one of the only ones that highlights a paramedic spiraling out of control. And it's good enough to where there are psych students that write papers on it. It's that one, yeah. And we're going to go over it. We're going to talk about it and how you can avoid being that guy. Strategies to manage your stress. Minimize or eliminate stressors. Minimize or get rid of them. How do I get rid of them? All right. So I thought that we would enjoy a puppy at the house. This is a few months ago. Boy, was I wrong. I am a dog person. So is my wife. What? No. Big stressor. I got nice, newer leather furniture. I had a rug that the dog may have eliminated its waste on, right? So that was a big stressor for us. I eliminated the stressor. I rehomed him. Hey, $50, come get this thing. So I rehomed him with my cousin. And her children, they're older kids that can take care of the puppy. Great idea. I eliminated the stressor. I am much more carefree and happy. What about partners? Can your partner cause you stress? To the 25th power, they can. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you, good sir. You are pretty cool. I love you. Let me know how much I owe you. My food is here. So what about changing work hours? If night shift ain't for you, then go to the days. I was personally not a fan of the day trip. Too much management around, less autonomy. People got their thumb on you. I do what I do, right? So you might have to change your work hours, change your work environment. I'm not gonna mention names of the services, but I was once a supervisor and I took a $22,000 pay cut to go somewhere else and just run 911 calls. And I was way happier. What about cutting back on overtime? I lost a good friend earlier this year to COVID. He was a dispatcher here at Central. Fantastic human being, a retired old paramedic. He was a great dispatcher, but my wife, when I was working here, used to bring my daughter up here to see me. And he would be very kind to her. He'd give her candy, he'd play with her, and he was just very gracious. And he was a good friend and a good person. I was a brand new commander at one point, and I didn't know what I was doing. He made sure I didn't look stupid. This friend of mine who died of COVID, I loved him, and I hate that he's gone. But before his obituary even posted, his job title, his job availability was up. It's nothing personal, but we are ones and zeros. We are ones and zeros to these companies. You are mom, you are dad at home. I am father and husband. I'm Josh to my family, but here I'm just a number. And you have to realize that and cut back on your overtime. Do not allow somebody to work you to death, literally. Why do I say this? Because, again, that obituary will be posted after your job title is available. I know this for a fact. And again, it's the company. They got to, show must go on. I understand. I'm just telling you to take care of yourself. You're replaceable here, but you're not replaceable at home. I used to have a bad habit of picking up overtime and overtime, working 80 to 120 hours a week. I mean, making that money. Shoot, I got this bread, got this nice new toy I'm buying. Oh God, you do so good. And even here recently, I was here a couple of Fridays ago. They was like, man, we need help on the 911 side. We'll give you $400. Nah, I made a promise. I'll hustle Monday through Friday. Friday at 5, the boy's out. I cannot be bought. But what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? What good is it to give all yourself away? Because the true commerce of the world is time. As you and I sit in a workspace, we've agreed to work for, let's talk about the minimum wage. Everybody wants to be raised to $15 an hour. It doesn't sound too bad, right? But if I told you that you're selling an hour of your life for $15, how does that grab you? Does it make you rethink things? I sold an hour of my life that I cannot get back. So I need to be paid what I am worth. And I need to make a living. I understand that. But I'm irreplaceable at home. So don't let any of these places work you to death. They'll try. They got calls to run and they need a body there. And I'm just telling you the truth because I love you. I don't want you to wind up like I have. I want you to be smarter. And I want you to take care of yourself. Change your attitude about the stressor. Talk about your feelings. Yeah, I was never good at that one. I'm not gonna lie. Let's talk about our feelings. My wife's always trying to get me to open up. I don't know how. I really don't. This is foreign to me. I'm just being real with you. I feel mad. Why? We don't know. Probably something to do with gas prices. So, seek professional counseling. I can tell you a lot of us would rather suffer in silence than seek counseling. It's more scary to some of us than actually seeking counseling. So, my advice to you is to just understand that it's okay not to be okay. And it's okay to say something. And it's also okay to call me during business hours from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, if you need something. and we can talk about it. Or if you really need me, you can call me anytime. I'd rather you talk to me about it than do something permanent. But it doesn't stop the pain. Suicide only transfers it. It would pain me and your family. So try to adopt a relaxed philosophy. Oh, that's stupid. Let's not get too over the top here. Expand your social support system. Friends are important. That's a problem for me. I got to admit, when I was growing up, man, I had friends everywhere. And now that I'm an adult, I don't want friends. I just want to go home and see my family. And that's a problem for me. I know I seem outgoing with all this, but I don't really go out and do anything. I just spend time with my family. That's a problem. Iron sharpens iron. I need friends. You need friends. We need to be able to socialize and have a support system of people to check on us. And that's a weakness of me. I don't want to hang out with nobody. I don't like most people. And I work enough to where I just want to go home. I seem outgoing, but I'm really introverted. I turn a switch to be an instructor and a teacher, but in all reality, I just want to be with my family. But you need people. Develop friends outside of emergency services. That is so important. People that don't do this, that you don't have to talk about it with, that is important. Limit caffeine and alcohol and tobacco. Well, I failed there too. But you ain't got to be me. We got what all these paramedics drinking energy drinks. I don't know who they're talking about, but there's that. Caffeine, alcohol, tobacco, limit it. I ain't saying stop it. I mean, gotta have some fun out there. But be smart about it. Don't go out and get drunk on a bender and get a DUI and hurt somebody. Don't smoke yourself into lung cancer. And don't over caffeinate yourself into heart palpitations and problems. It can and will happen. Too many energy drinks can cause what? Kidney problems as well. Be smart about it, folks. I am not going to talk about diets and nutrition. Everybody, the diet that works is the one you'll stick to. I can tell you only my own experience, which is I have tried all the diets. I even went vegan for 6 months and I lost 40 pounds. I got weak as hell, but I lost 40 pounds. That could also be because my leverage has changed too, but my cholesterol went down 100 points in 6 months. That's pretty darn good. So whatever diet you want to stick to, it's fine. The diet that works is the one you stick to. It's simple math. You go into a caloric deficit, you burn more than you take in, you'll lose weight. Dunzo. Not going to beat that down. Exercise and relaxation. You need to exercise, relax a little bit. Take the fishing trip. Use your PTO time. Good physical condition does allow you to handle stress more easily. And don't just sit at home on the couch on your days off and sleep all day. Go and find stuff to do. I will tell you this. You need sleep to heal. It's recommended 7 to 9 hours per night. A lot of EMS and fire services, they do 24-hour shifts. You think that my crews in Atlanta that are on 24-hour shifts are getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night? No, they are not. That's one of the stressors of this job. That's why I was glad to see that this company here, Central, no longer has 24-hour shifts. They're dangerous. I won't ever work another one. They are dangerous. I remember working a 24-hour shift. No, I worked a 48-hour shift. I've worked 72s before because I'm stupid. I wanted money. I was getting off a 40-hour shift and I've been ran like a dog at the racetracks. I had been run. I fell asleep at a red light and I'm amazed I did not run into the back of some car. You know what woke me up? A horn behind me. The hell you want? In my bedroom? I'm not in my bedroom. Let me pull in here. Sir, do you have any cocaine? Thank you. I'm ready to go home. I literally had to pull into like a Walmart or something, I think it was, and I took a nap, like a 2-hour power nap, and I went home. But if you ever are that tired, please just take a nap at the station, sleep on the couch, the day room, find you a spot, sleep in your car. Do not drive that impaired, because driving that tired is the equivalent of driving drunk. I see I got a chat bubble pop up. What you got? Central still has 24s. Thank you for ruining every cool thing I just said. Thanks. Okay, well, there, that was hoping. What's that? They do still have 24s? Oh, 911. Well, the 911 side that Central has maybe runs one call a day. They're getting 20 hours of sleep a day. I've ran up there in Forsyth County. They're not running a whole lot of calls. They like to think they do, but I invite them to go grab a Grady shift and do 16 calls in 12 hours and tell me about sleep deprivation. Sorry, soapbox. I feel what I feel. It is what it is. They're not hardworking individuals and great EMTs and paramedics. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you cannot compare yourself to the big fish down there. 24s are optional. People sometimes opt for that schedule. You know what? Sometimes it is best for people's schedule. I mean, there were benefits to 24s. I'm not going to say there weren't. I loved having 2 days off. If I actually got 2 days off, you know, 1 day on, 2 days off was great. I only worked 9-10 days a month. But there are benefits to being in my own bed every night, you know, doing a 9 to 5 kind of thing too. So weigh it. Adequate sleep, avoid caffeine. The rest of this PowerPoint kind of gets redundant. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and just talk with you. So I got a couple people on the phone, on the horn. Let's talk about it. Guys and gals, it's important to take care of yourself. If you're going to take care of others, you have to take care of yourself first and foremost. Okay? Not only take care of yourself, but for your family's sake, so you can be well rested and in adequate shape to play with them. What if I get hurt at work? Am I going to still be able to pick my daughters up and play with them and wrestle with them on the floor? No, not if I hurt myself. So I got to be careful. I got to be smart. None of this should be like groundbreaking EMS 101 stuff. This is basic common sense, I would think. So my advice to you is take care of yourself, take care of each other, take care of me, take care of your supervisors, take care of people you don't even like. Ah, that's a good one. What do you mean take care of people I don't like? You know, there's some people you work with you don't like. I don't work with people I don't like. I teach people I don't like too. But I would still take care of them and act like a professional. If I see my brother's cheese sliding off his cracker, I'm gonna catch it and help it back on there for him. It's kind of the same concept, boys and girls. If you ain't married, boys, here's a tip. You let your wife come home to a sink full of not clean dishes versus clean dishes. See how much she loves you. So you let your wife come home to an empty sink, clean floors. That's a love language all in itself right there. Same thing applies. I walk by the sink in my house. If there's dishes in it, I need to jump on it. If I, as a professional, here, this is my station. I work here. I walk by and the trash is full. Well, I'm a super critical care flight medic, EMS instructor. I still need to get over there and grab that trash. I still need to clean up after the people in this education room because it's pride, ownership of what I do. Any questions so far? All right. Go ahead.